begin with a today weather alert for extreme conditions across the country. As we go to air, Victoria is waking up to a catastrophic fire day, the worst seen since the devastating Black Summer of 2019.
Sydney is also sweltering through this heat wave, entering the second day of scorching temperatures of over 40 degrees. While up north, Queensland is facing the risk of flash flooding and a possible tropical cyclone.
All right, we have team coverage for you right across the country this morning. Let's go first to today. Melbourne reporter Kiara Parker. Kiara, what fire warnings are currently in place?
Well, 5 emergency warnings are right now in place for 2 bushfires burning out of control in the state's northeast. We know there's already been property loss due to that fire at Longwood. Several communities, residents forced to flee their homes, some told it's too late to leave. The other fire burning out of control near Walwa and the Mount Lawson State Park. Authorities don't expect to contain those blazes today in these conditions. A catastrophic fire danger rating has been declared for the Wimmera, Southwest, Northern and North Central districts. It means lives and homes could be at risk. It's the first time since 2019 that multiple districts have had this catastrophic classification. The whole state is under a total fire ban. Thousands of campers at popular holiday destinations have been urged to leave because authorities say it's just not safe to be in bushland areas with high fuel loads and these strong winds today. Any fires that are sparked will not be controllable. Let's hear from them.
Don't underestimate, this is a very dynamic and ever-changing situation.
Catastrophic fire danger ratings mean that it will be unpredictable, uncontrollable and fast-moving fires that we will see.
In bushfire-prone areas, 450 schools offering holiday programs will close, and Ambulance Victoria has declared a red escalation, pulling paramedics out of those danger zones, and they'll only respond to life-threatening or serious cases in danger zones today.
A very concerning day ahead for Victorians. Kiara Parker, thank you.
OK, let's head north and go live now to Today Queensland reporter Andrea Crothers. Andrea, a huge stretch of the coast is on alert.
Yeah, and Joel, this morning a large number of emergency services, so police officers, SES, are being deployed to north and far north Queensland in preparation for this weather system. There is a stretch from north of Cooktown all the way down to Mackay that a severe weather warning is in place for, being warned of intense rainfall, potentially life-threatening flooding, as well as damaging winds. This is as this tropical low sits out on the western Coral Sea. It is expected to start tracking towards inland today, potentially crossing the coastline at 4 a.m. on Sunday. That is the latest advice from the Bureau. But regardless of whether this does develop into a cyclone, we know it is all about that rain we need to watch out for.
Isolated falls of even in excess of 250 millimetres in 24 hours.
Our catchments are saturated and they are starting to rise.
Communities being told to remain on alert.
A nervous watch. Thank you, Andrea. Evacuations are underway across parts of Victoria as out-of-control bushfires continue to burn. It comes as Sydney braces for another day of extreme heat, while Queensland is on alert for a potential tropical cyclone. Joining me now is Strathbogie Shire Deputy Mayor Claire Hewitt-Kennedy from Waring, Victoria, Brett Manieri from New South Wales Surf Lifesaving, and Nine weather presenter Gary Youngbury on the Gold Coast. Good morning to you all. A lot to get across. First, Deputy Mayor, we understand conditions where you are particularly dire.
They're catastrophic. I would say to anyone that's watching this, make really smart decisions. Do not put yourself or anyone else, particularly our volunteers who are the heroes of this, in danger. Today is meant to be a really, really tough day. I've already had briefings significantly over the night. Our mayor is currently fighting a fire that is lapping at his parents' farm and his own farm, and that it's affecting everyone. I've had reports overnight of property lost in Ruffy and Longwood. those properties and those places are not out of danger. The area itself has significantly enlarged overnight and during the day yesterday. I attended the relief centre in Seymour last night and spoke with about 200 community members who were there, either there as because they'd been evacuated or they just wanted to find out what was going on. There is a lot of concern for what the next 36 hours holds for our community.
Yeah, I can hear that concern in your voice. Dozens of towns in the surrounding areas have been told to evacuate. Can you give us any specifics about where this fire is headed and what areas may become under threat as we go throughout the morning?
I'm never going to try, as a country girl who's lost a lot to fire already, and been in a fire myself that I just survived from, I really am not going to try and predict fires. Don't try and outrun them. Don't try and predict it. They're a beast. They will beat you before you beat it. That's the reality. The big thing overnight that's been impacted is critical infrastructure. I'm at our farms at Waring at the moment, and we've just found out that our internet is significantly down. I'm currently linking 3 different phones and iPads to try and get enough to go. It's really, really dire. We have water drinking issues that have affected Euroa and Longwood and other towns, as far as I know. So critical infrastructure is really, really at breaking point. So if you don't need to be here, don't come.
Yeah, that is sage advice. Thank you, Claire. Meanwhile, extreme heat also continues for residents across New South Wales. Brett, a lot of folks heading to the beach this weekend. How concerned are you for their safety, especially after the drownings we saw over New Year's?
Yeah, Joel, we're down here at Dewey this morning and already there's a significant crowd down here, and we expect those crowds to be across the entire state, not only today but across the course of the weekend. So what we've done is ensured that we've got proper preparation in place. We'll be standing up additional patrols along the state, working with the lifesavers and lifeguards where necessary to extend those hours, because we understand that people will probably likely want to stay out of that hot weather during the middle of the day, and we're expecting people to come down later in the day, and so we're adjusting services accordingly to meet that demand.
Brent, fingers crossed for you and your volunteers. Let's head to Queensland now, where there are fears a low pressure system will result in a tropical cyclone. Gaz, how bad do you think conditions are going to be?
Well, Joel, firstly, there's actually 2 low-pressure systems. There's one in the Gulf of Carpentaria, but the main threat for the northeast coast of Queensland is currently about 370 kilometres northeast of Cairns. It is tracking to the coast, and at this point, it's a 50% chance of it becoming a tropical cyclone. But make no mistake, the main threat is heavy rainfall and a flooding event. There will be damaging winds up to about 95 kilometres per hour, but as it impacts the coast, we're likely to see rainfall totals of 250 millimetres plus in a 24-hour period. And from this rainfall event from now through until Monday, we're looking at widespread falls of 200 to 500 millimetres, even 500 to 800 millimetres in some areas. And this is anywhere from Cooktown all the way down to Hamilton Island. But as it crosses the coast later in the weekend, that rain will spread inland and further south down to around Hervey Bay. So a significant rainfall event, some flooding heading our way, Joel, and there is a very good chance that both of us will be packing our bags and heading north early next week, Joel.
Yes, so much weather to watch on the east coast and southeast of the country. And Claire, stay safe to you. Ali.
Thank you very much, everyone.